In this lesson, we're going to add a player to our game, and we're also going to start handling input interaction. So let's go ahead and add the player. We have the spread here. So from 6 to 11, we have a running loop, and we can just drag it out on stage, add a new animation called running, and there you have it. We got our player on stage. He's behind the background now, so we're gonna swap him into the in-game layer and just do number 2 in order, since it's gonna be on top of the tiles as well. We will name him player, and we gotta add a couple of physics components. So let's start off by a collider. We can zoom in. We don't need that big collider, so I'm gonna shrink it a little bit. You can all shrink that one and move it down to his feet. There you go. And we also need a rigid body on him, so I'm gonna do the physics 2D, rigid body 2D, enter a little bit of mass, and also change the gravity so he falls faster to the ground. I'm gonna do a fixed angle as well, and let's press play. We got a hero running in the screen, and as you can see, he drops into the blanks. So in order to handle input interaction, we're gonna address the player a little bit first. So I'm gonna scroll down here to the player handle script. That's something we need to connect as well. So I'm just gonna drag and drop it on the player. And then, as you can see, it's added now. So let's go into the script. And in this lesson, we're just gonna create a short jump loop here, or just a jump function. So I'm just gonna do public void jump. And all we need to do here is just type in this dot rigid body 2D, and we're gonna add a little bit of force. We need the player to jump straight up, so I can type in a vector 2 dot up, and let's multiply it by 3000. Since we have a little bit of mass and a little bit of gravity in this scene, 3000 would be enough. So we're gonna change script now, and we're gonna go into another script called input controller. That one is connected to the main camera, or we're gonna connect it to the main camera. So just drag and drop it there, and we're gonna address this script now. First off, we need a couple of variables here. We're gonna start off by isMobile. Since we want to stay in the editor for as long as we can, it's a good way to split it up, touch event and mouse events. So let's do private bool isMobile equals true. And within the start here, we can do if application dot isEditor, then isMobile equals false. We also need another one. We're gonna address the script we already created in player, so I'm gonna type private player handler player, and in the startup function here, we're gonna set it to game object, and we need to find the player first. So let's search for him, player, and we want to get the component in player. So let's do the get component player handler. So now we have a reference to the script as well, and we can start addressing the touch interaction. So if this script is running on mobile, if is mobile, we're gonna do one thing, and else it's in the editor, and we gotta handle the mouse touch instead. So if it's on mobile, we need to check if the interaction or the touch points is more than one, since somebody can touch the screen with both fingers and then remove one. We always want to get the ones that's in play, so I'm gonna do a little bit of a function here that will handle that one. So let's just call it a temporary variable, and it will count the number of inputs. Input.touch count, and all we need to do is decrease that by 1, and that number will be the touch that's on the screen. So if input dot get touch, and we're going to use that number, temp c dot phase equals touch phase began. Then we're going to handle something called handle interaction, and I'm going to go ahead and just jump down and create that one. So let's do a void handle interaction, and we're going to take a boolean here, since it's going to be a start and stop on this interaction. So I'm just going to do boolean starting, and if starting, we can access the player and let him jump. Else, we're not going to do anything for the else right now. We're going to handle that in the next lesson. So now we know that somebody had touched the screen, so the player is going to jump, and we can call the function handle interaction. And it will take through here, since it's a start, and that should be enough. We will prepare also for when the touch is not there, or when the touch is ended. So I'm just gonna copy paste this one and change the touch phase to ended, and then we're gonna put in false here, just to prepare for the next lesson. And if we're running this in editor, we need to address the mouse click instead of the touch events. So that way we're going to do the same thing, but for mouse click, we're going to do input dot get mouse, mouse bottom down, and we know it's going to be the left click, so I'm just going to go do 0 there, since we're only going to use one click. And we're going to do the same thing, handle interaction true, and if it's mouse bottom up, we know that the interaction has ended, so we're going to send in false. There you go. Now let's go into the scene. Press play. The guy is running. I'm clicking and he's jumping. The jump isn't big enough. We're going to tweak a couple of variables there, but we're going to do that in the next lesson. So see you then.